What impact will AI have on society in the next 10 years?
Elon University's Center for Imagining the Digital Future just released a big report based on a survey of nearly 300 global tech experts.
These insiders predict major changes in the immediate future to the ways that we think about work, life, and ourselves.
We talked with Lee Rainie, the director of the center and co-author of the report.
So this is a continuation of work that's meant to be looking forward by a decade or so and asking experts to judge what's going to happen. We have a pretty good track record, and we have some decent evidence that experts are not bad at predicting the future, at least in broad terms like the ones we were capturing here. So the reason we did this particular report, The Future of Being Human, is that over the years, as we've done our work, the sort of conventional wisdom became, okay, AI is going to get good at some things. It might even surpass humans at certain levels of intelligence. So the boundary between human and machine is going to keep shifting and stuff. But there are things that we can cultivate as humans that are sort of special and unique to us, that have helped us survive over the millennia and that have stood the test of time as being wonderful for us and not replicable in other instances. Did a bunch of literature review and isolated 12 dimensions of sort of special human traits.
The sort of top line finding is almost all of your experts think that there's going to be some degree of change, of significant change over 10 years, which is a very short time frame. And 23% of your experts think that change will be dramatic, with another 38% thinking that change will be considerable. I mean, is there precedent in your experience for that combination of so many of the most knowledgeable people predicting such wide impact from a specific technology over such a short time frame?
Generative AI, ChatGPT and its peers are the fastest spreading general purpose digital tech, or all technologies that we know of in history. They reached the 100 million user mark faster by a lot than predecessors like social media, like broadband, like televisions and radios and things like that.
The report, as I read the data, and I'm going to ask you if you agree with this characterization, it is actually pretty dark. It's more dark than light. Of the 12 cognitive and social traits that experts are asked to sort of predict the changes in over the coming decade, 9 of them are the changes seen as more likely to be, or is going to be more negative than positive, including capacity and willingness to think deeply about complex problems, social and emotional intelligence, mental well-being, empathy and application of moral judgment. Just 3 are seen as likely to evolve in a sort of more positive than negative direction: curiosity and capacity to learn, decision-making and problem-solving abilities, innovative thinking and creativity. So I want to ask you, I mean, A, do you agree with me that this is a pretty down report? And B, I wonder if you see a grouping amongst the two groups of traits. I mean, my first reaction was that experts are thinking we're going to become worse as humans who relate to one another, and maybe the glimmers of positive light are slightly sort of instrumental or monetizable skills, which is an interesting direction for society to go, or some might say continue to go.
Good for you. That's exactly the thing I see in the data as well. I've described the sort of 3 positive attributes as actionable information or actionable access to the outputs of artificial intelligence, and the 9 sort of downbeat predictions as more oriented towards cognitive and emotional self-reflection, or things that are not necessarily actionable. It's how you see yourself in the world and how you see yourself in relation to other people and things like that. So I absolutely love that you spotted that differentiation. And in a way, as I think about this, if you had to sort of bank on human talents for survivability, curiosity, creativity, and decision-making are not bad things to sort of hang your hat on. So in a way, the sort of upbeat part of this report is even these experts who are generally downcast, I think you're exactly right about that. We wrote the headline based on that sense of what we were getting, is that under the right circumstances, especially under circumstances where these things are teachable, and there are ways in which the particularly higher education can sort of come to the service and even saving of humanity by making sure that these sort of precious gifts that we've been endowed by evolution can pull us out of the slough of despond.
And to follow up on that, the three characteristics that are projected to be sort of growth areas for human capacity are all highly individualizing. And they all seem to lean very heavily into the individual human interaction with a machine, in essence.
One of the standard things that comes up in the literature on this about what are humans good at, leadership just pops a lot, and it shows up, but we didn't quite know how to frame it. And yet, these experts found a way in highlighting those three things to sort of basically say leadership stuff. So it is an individualized thing, and it is sort of depending on sort of special actors to pull groups of people forward or pull institutions and organizations forward. But they were basically saying, yeah, the leadership stuff is still part of human greatness, basically.
So I wanted to bring our discussion of the fascinating new report towards an end here by focusing not on the kind of quantitative data that the report contains, because the majority of the report is actually a set of essays. Amongst these essays were a set of really compelling predictions about the next 10 years. And I wanted to just, pick out the three I found most interesting, and then maybe you could, I don't know, either respond to those or characterize the essays in more depth, or maybe you've got your own compelling prediction. Paul Sappho says the first multi-trillion dollar corporation will employ no humans, except legally required executives and board, have no offices, own no property, and operate entirely through AI and automated systems. David Vivankos says individuals will face a stark choice between remaining classic humans who rely on innate biological faculties or embracing technological augmentation to enhance or replace certain abilities. And Peter Lunenfeld says AI could redefine the meaning of authenticity in art. AI will be both the marble and the chisel, the brush and the canvas, the camera and the frame, co-creating the neo-synthetic. Such a sort of rich set of ideas and predictions from some of the leading experts here.
Yeah, that's always a fun component of the reports that we've been drafting in recent years. And yeah, so it's a really fun section related to the ones that you mentioned. Sappho, again, who used to run the Institute for the Future, talked about the bestseller of 2035. So we picked a decade from now as sort of the end point about thinking about this stuff. He said the bestseller from 2035 is going to be AI written, and it's going to be reflect on what it used to mean to be human. And it will be bought by other AI bots who are acting on behalf of humans and often translating or synthesizing a book for their human, companions and stuff like that. So that was fun. A related thing to the sort of authenticity point was that there were lots of both these sort of special predictions that we called out, but just suffusing all the conversation was the sense that that integration and cooperation and co-intelligence and co-acting and co-learning are part of the package here. That again, sort of if things are going to turn out right, starting now or even very soon from now, figuring out how to work together. It's sort of bringing the best of what AI can do and bringing the best of what humans can do, and making sure that humans stay in the driver's seat is a big part of that. And so there were lots of ways in which the combination of humans and sort of the shifting definitions of what's authenticity and what's actually a human being who is acting with this stuff at his side or her side. They're just there are a bunch of fun predictions there.
Okay, so the report is The Future of Being Human. It's from Elon University's Center for Imagining the Digital Future, and we've been talking about it with Lee Rainie, the director.